Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Hollybush Railway. It's another Friday night live stream. Friday evening here at Hollybush, and things are just starting to wind down around the town. Shops are closing up for the night. Folk are making their way back home. And I'm guessing there's a few folk tonight that are picking up a fish supper. We'll be chatting about that as the stream goes on. Good evening, Xerox. How you doing? Xerox32B there in the chat. Good evening. So the setup tonight, we're going for quite a heritage railway on a diesel day. On the tracks at the moment we've got a 66 with some vintage Mark 1s and a 37 with Pullman coaches. We've also got the 08 in the goods yard, and there's an HST set on the branch line which will be making an appearance later on. I've also been adding a few new cutaway scenes, so there's some different little cameos around the layout that I can show you. Some scenes around the high street with the bakers, Harry Brown's. Granny taking the grandkid out for a day trip, waiting on the station platform. This wee close-up of this guy working in the goods yard. And Ian Knightley in Cola Factory. Xerox32B doing great, had a wonderful week, and the last weekend was equally great since there was a Fremo meetup. If you don't know what the Fremo is, it's a get-together of modelers that play together with the trains on their modules that they bring with them. Was that the TT120 Fremo group that we're talking in the Hornby forums? It's quite a nice idea that everyone kind of builds their own little section and they kind of all join up together into this kind of really, like, any size kind of layout could be massive with all these different sections that people have worked on individually. So it's a cool thing. There was an exhibition of Fremo modules at the Model Rail Scotland show this year at the SEC here in Glasgow. There's some clips of that in the video that I took there. So the big news in TT120 today, I'm assuming that everyone watching is familiar with Peachy TT120. If you're doing anything on TT and you don't know Peachy, you must go and check him out. He is an amazing ambassador for the scale. He has been doing tireless work to promote it with his colleagues at TMC, the Model Centre. And this morning he put out a new video announcing a new collaboration and a new manufacturer who is entering TT120. Yaktor, hello, good evening to you. You're saying, beautiful, can I come visit in person? I'm afraid the live stream will have to do. That's the trouble with layouts that have become kind of too big to even fit out the door of the room that they're built in. I couldn't really take it to like an exhibition or show it off other than just on YouTube. Let's go around a few scenes around the town whilst we're chatting about the news. Get the folk waiting on the bus home. So yes, this morning the big announcement came that sorry, the name just went out of my head there. Rapido UK are coming in to manufacture for TT120. They're going to be joining the existing manufacturers Hornby, Pico, Revolution Trains and Hellion, and anyone else that I haven't thought of there that I've missed out. And their first products in the scale, they're going to be doing a TT version of their 00 fish and parcel vans. So this is just what I've been kind of picking up from the video that Peachy put out this morning, and from kind of a quick look up on there, because I would always make the point of saying that I am a model railway enthusiast. I am by no means a railway expert, so I am just kind of picking up things as I go along. I am no source of great knowledge here. So these are insulated fish vans that were built to transport fish from the ports to the big cities as fast as possible. So most freight wagons, as you can see with the 08, they were fairly basic things. And they were not built for speeds. A fairly simple construction, basic axles, so they had quite limited top speeds, most wagons. But the fish vans, because they're carrying a very, very perishable item, fresh fish, you need to get that to where it's going as fast as possible. So they were built to pretty much kind of the same standard as passenger coaches, from what I can understand of it. David Newby 6095, good evening to you. You've had to cancel your Revolution orders to afford the fish vans and pay for a new laptop. Oh, a new laptop, that is gonna sting you for the cost there. I'm gonna have to do the same at some point, because my laptop is clinging on for dear life. So I feel your pain there. A shame that you're having to cancel the Revolution ones, but the fish vans look really cool. And it's great to see another manufacturer coming in on TT120. So it's great to see Rapido coming on board. So just want to say a big welcome to TT. I know they're held in pretty high regard for their 00. I think they do they do 009 as well? As I say again, I am not an expert. I'm just kind of picking things up as I go along. So these fish vans were there were wagons that were built to kind of run at the same kind of speeds as express passenger trains, insulated to stay as cold as possible. They would be packed with ice, and they would come in from the ports, a few wagons from each port, into a big marshalling yard, put together into one big massive train, massive big express locomotive hooked up to them, and they would be carted off to the cities as fast as possible. Xerox, interesting, here in Germany we had cooling wagons that were made to transport things that needed to be held cool. People often also just called them interfrigo wagons. Yeah, it's probably the same kind of idea. So these ones that were packed with ice, these were really, really early on in the history of the railways, before refrigerated wagons. That they stayed in use for quite a long time because they were built to such a high standard, that they seemed to kind of cling on for pretty much most of the time that fish was being transported by rail. And David Newby saying it's not the end of the world. As a more a BR Blue NSE man. Well, if these wagons are going to be more Eurira anyway, then I suppose it's all to the good then. So yeah, they hung on into use into the BR Blue days, which is the kind of era that Hollybush roughly will be kind of set in when it kind of settles down that I've got enough stock that I can run one specific era. And Hollybush, there is a real world village called Hollybush, which the layout takes its name from. That is on the line that ran from Dolmellington into Ayr. The layout itself is not really a representation of that. It's a fictional town in southwest Scotland, but it's got lots of things that are loosely based on the Ayr, on the Ayrshire area, which is where I grew up. And Ayr, not so much anymore, but it used to be a very busy fishing port. Hit the wrong button there. Went to the wrong screen, sorry. Meant to go to that one. So yeah, Ayr's fishing port was in its last days when I was growing up. It used to have a railway that served the South Harbour Street side of it, which is where the fish market was. So back in the day, there would have been lots of these kind of fish wagons being loaded up on the docks and taken off, probably up to Glasgow to serve the cities there, maybe across to Edinburgh, and into marshalling yards to be formed into big trains to go all around the country. As fishing declined and more fish was being transported by road, these wagons were apparently repressed into service as parcel wagons. This is all what I'm taking from the video that Peachy and Rapido put out this morning. This is all just what I've been learning about these today. And so because they were built for express service, they were very useful for parcel wagons as well, for express parcel delivery. And they're doing some of the parcel liveried wagons as well. They were also put into departmental use, so they've got some BR departmental liveries as well. So I believe that they're pre-ordering now, and I think the plan is that they'll be manufactured and shipping ready for about this time next year. So it's going to take a wee while to get them, but it's fantastic to see some new things coming into the scale, and some things that will fit well here at Hollybush. So I'm thinking to get maybe one or two of the fish fans and just imagine that the branch line there that goes off into the tunnel, that might have a line that comes from the docks. And might well pick up a parcel van as well, because they can be attached to the end of passenger trains and just be run as a little extra on them. That's another thing that I can just vaguely remember about growing up in Ayr train station, which the Hollybush station is kind of modelled on. 2 through platforms, 2 bay platforms. It used to have quite an extensive set of carriage sidings out the back of the station in the area which is now the car park. So you'd get all sorts of wagons parked up there. It was used to store the coaches for the boat trains down to Stranraer, and I think it probably would have been fairly common to see parcel wagons in there as well. So there's quite a few uses that I can put these new Rapido wagons to here on Hollybush. So just want to say a big welcome to TT120, to Rapido, and thank you to Peachy, to Chris, for all the work that he and TMC are doing to promote the scale. It's brilliant to see what's been happening. I know there was the disappointment when the coaches deal fell through with Hellion when they were taken over by Acura Scale, but it's great to see that you've not let that kind of put you off from knocking on the doors of manufacturers and seeing what can be done. So if you're watching, if you're in the chat, are you thinking of getting any of these wagons yourself? And which ones are you looking at? And just generally, what do you think of it all? So this news for TT. Xerox, in Germany, or at least in the eastern part, it was normal that people could have wagons as garden sheds in their garden without the chassis, of course. And yeah, that kind of thing happened over here as well. With small wagons, or some of the small coaches, it was quite common for them to be repurposed as kind of chicken sheds or garden sheds. In fact, it's a plot point in a lovely film, The Titfield Thunderbolt, one of the Ealing comedies. That one of the characters lives in a little hut that's been converted out of an old railway carriage, and when they try to when the line's closed down and try to reopen it as a heritage line, and the train that they have breaks down, his house is repurposed back into use as a carriage on the tracks without him knowing. I do love a good Ealing comedy. I think I'm going to bring the 37 to a halt in Hollybush Station. I really need to get more cameras, or at least cameras with a longer cable, so I can get get one that's got a good view of the station. Excuse me, the hiccups now. Just going to change the points. Set it over to the branch line. And bring the HST out. And Xerox saying here it was just goods wagons, but preservation groups actually found a box wagon from the First World War, and on it you could see the emblem of the Saxon Railway. Good bit of history there. Yeah, and again the same kind of thing happens over here. These really old wagons would turn up in places, and heritage groups have been restoring them ever since. Yeah, so that's the big news from today, is that the Rapido announcement. Which slightly puts Hornby's announcements from the other day into the shades, when all they've actually announced is a castle log. But it's nice to see that as well. Of course, we had plenty from Hornby back in the April announcement. I think it's not too long until we're expecting the new 37s. The Intercity 37 is due for it fairly soon. I would love to be adding one to my collection, but I think it's probably going to have to wait at the moment. Clear the credit card a bit from an expensive mobile repair first. We've got a nice big jump in viewer numbers there. I think we've got 10 folk watching the stream now. It's going into double figures. So hello to everyone who's out there. Please feel free to join the chat. Say hello. Introduce yourselves if you're new to the channel here. Lovely to have you along. So the plan tonight is just a little running session. Play some trains. Hang out and chat about the announcement this morning, or just anything that anyone wants to talk about in the chat. You do feel free to say hello. Otherwise it's just me talking to myself here. my voice has done enough today. Long session doing the busking in real life. .37 will be an interesting addition, perfect for goods trains. Yeah, there's two. I think it's two liveries of 37s that are coming out. One's quite a freight orientated one, and one's the intercity one. So we've got a good mix of passenger and freight. Of course, there would both be pressed into service on for both of them, both passenger and freight operations. Just kind of whatever local was available. The intercity swallow liveried one is probably my favourite of the ones that are expected this month. Same livery as on the HST here. And then, of course, I think maybe not next month, but certainly quite soon, August, I think, the Coalfield freight sets will be along, and that's one that I'm definitely hoping to get. The coal sectorisation livery and a couple of hopper wagons. And at some point as well, Hellions 122 should arrive. I'm not sure what the kind of expected date on that is at the moment. I know they've been slightly reworking them to get the front panels a little bit more accurate. So if you're watching, what stuff have you got on pre-order that's coming out soon? What are you looking forward to getting? So you're saying you could kind of compare the 37 to the BR132 since it was also put into intercity service but also did goods transportation. Yeah, one of the 37, one of those classic all-rounders, going to go everywhere, do everything locals. I'm looking forward to adding some more, because the one that I've got, 37408 Lochrannoch, it's been a really good runner. Touch wood. It's had no issues at all so far. In fact, let's get it out again. Let's bring the intercity to a stop in Dalrymple Station. Network Rail 37. Good evening. Hi, Andrew. How are you doing tonight? Welcome along to the stream. We've been chatting a bit about the announcements from Peachy and Rapido this morning, the new fish wagons and parcel vans that are coming out, and just generally having a wee running session as we usually do on Friday nights. So the vibe tonight is Heritage Railway on a diesel day. So 37408 Lochranach is out with the Pullmans. And we've got a 66 running with some Mark 1s as well. As well as an 08 with some wagons in the goods yard. Some wagons which at some point in the future, I think about next year when they come out, will be joined by some fish wagons and parcel wagons. Oh, are you still on the points there? They have been running quite well tonight, but there is nothing more guaranteed to bring out a technical problem than putting a camera on a locomotive. They always run perfectly until you try to film them. You'd like to see the 08 with some Mark 1s? Ah, sure we can set that up. No, message retracted. Would you like to see the 08 with the Mark 1s? I'm kind of interested now to see how well the little 08 would haul that big rake of Mark 1s. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to dial up the wrong controls and set everything off. Oh, is it just a YouTube glitch thing that retracted the comment? I don't know what happened with that. Nothing in the comment that I could see that seemed would fall foul of YouTube. Okay, so we've got the 08, we've got 5 Mark 1s, and I'm going to see what it can do. Now there is a diamond crossing just outside the station, which the '08 doesn't always like, so it might just stall down there. But let's have a look. YouTube probably thought it was a death threat or something. Yeah, they can be a bit overzealous. That looks so cute. I probably got it going just a little bit over scale speed for what an '08 could really do. But just to give it a good chance of hauling quite a heavy rake. Let's let's take it down a notch just to a little bit more like actual scale speed and see how it handles that diamond up at the back. A little hesitation, but it's gone through. I'll just put a little bit of track cleaning over it. Yeah, it's holding up well. Network Rail 37, I'm just saying, love the '08 and the 37.9s. Some classic BR blue out on the layout tonight. Imagine such a train would have actually run, it would have been so hilarious. Yeah. Well, I mean, on on branch lines, you would have got quite small locomotives hauling a decent rake of Mark 1s. Your little tank engines, not much bigger than the '08, but a higher top speed than the '08, which is just built for shunting. Network Rail 37, can't wait for the Acura Scale '08. So is that a double O thing, or is that on your wish list for Acura Scale Helgen's TT plans? It would be great to see Acura Scale and Helgen making some more things for TT. Little bit of wheel slip coming off that corner. Just going to make sure the track's as clean as it can be on that end. Have you seen the pic of the giant watermelon in the US on a flat wagon? No, not that. What is that? If I Google like giant watermelon on a flat wagon, if I Google that, what's going to come up? Okay, I've got an image of from eBay of Boyd's Bear Collectors of a wagon that is shaped of an actual watermelon. I don't know if this is what you're talking about. Hang on, I'll have to put my mobile up in front of the camera. Is that what you're talking about? Because that is weird. That's the only thing that's really coming up for sort of watermelons and wagons when I Google it. So if it's something else, I'm not finding it. Oh, you missed it. Oh, hang on. Let me see if I can find it again. Where was it? I've lost it. Oh no, now I can't find it again. Ah, there it is. That's what I found. A watermelon wagon. That's probably not what you were talking about, but that's what came up when I went to Google watermelon wagons. You imagine one of those running around on your railway. I'm just going to swap the locos round. And as I said, you would quite often get small tank engines pulling these kind of Mark 1 trains on little branch lines. I think the J50 itself was kind of more specifically built for freight. But little locos about the size of the '08 like that, you would see them on branch lines all the time, calling these kind of coaches. Xerox. Also, just looked at the home page of my German eBay, and the first thing I see are Beatles socks. Yeah, you'd be hard pressed to find something that hasn't got some Beatles merchandise over the years. Hornby have resisted so far doing a TT120 Beatles range. They've done lots of Beatles '08 stuff. Lots of Beatles '08. Lots of Beatles 00 stuff over the years, is what I'm trying to say. Quite a, shall we say, polarising range. Oh, why have you stopped? Oh, something's the matter. Let's just try it light engine. No. Oh, there we go. No, no. We've got an unhappy J50. Alright, bear with me whilst I try and sort that. Right, chat amongst yourselves for a wee minute whilst I have a look at the J50. Pickups look okay. Sometimes you can get little bits of fluff gets caught in them and they stop the current getting through. Yeah, you might be right. It might have just been needing to warm up a bit. Just gonna run it light engine just for a moment. What was I saying earlier on about things working perfectly until you put the camera on them? I think I'll take a couple of coaches off and just run it with a lighter load for a moment. Let's see if it's happier with that. I've not actually tended to run it on the inner main line. I've been having it mostly on the outer branch line, but it should be fine with the tighter curves there. They're radius too, it should be alright with that. It's maybe needing the wheels cleaned again. That could be a job for the weekend. Yeah, it seems fine with the radius. It's just a little bit hesitant in a few places, but I think that might just be track and wheels that need to be cleaned. Oh, I missed a comment there. You were saying earlier on, imagine they made a TT gin, but you could only get the Beatles version. Oh dear. Okay, I think what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to put it onto the outer branch line and see if it is happier there. So yeah, bear with me through a little bit of rejigging. how does it like this line? This is where I really hope it doesn't stall again, because it's in the tunnel up at the back of the layout. And it did. I'm just going to go and grab some cotton buds and cleaning fluids. I'll be back in a second. It does look like there is a bit of dirt on the wheels that is just coming off with the cleaning fluid. Right, let's see if that's made a difference. So I'll stop the 37. Change the points over to the branch line. And see if we've got a happier J50 for some wheel cleaning. I think that might have done the job. You've been using U-Spiritus for cleaning your wheels. I've just been using some just basic isopropyl alcohol. Seems to have done the trick. I'll give it a few laps round the track, light engine, and then I'll hook it up to a load and see how it does. It looks to be running a lot smoother now. So I think that must just have been a little bit of dirt and grease accumulating on the wheels and just affecting the conductivity. Right, just going to grab a couple of coaches. Rail them up behind the J50. And see if it's still happy hauling a couple of coaches. It is getting quite dark in Dalrymple Station there. here it comes round again. Much better. Well, what started out as a diesel day is now gone all steam. In fact, let's change the O8 out. The magnetic coupling's in a slight slope. Keep a week at it. If you're going to go all steam, let's have Normandy out as well. Yeah, oil crisis right now, so steam's taking over again. Although here in the UK we've just gone from a heat wave last week where heritage lines were having to take their steam trains off and replace them with diesels because of the fire risk, because the land and vegetation around the lines was so dry, and then this week it's just been constant downpours. The weather in Glasgow this week has just been horrendous. It eased up a bit today. Put 10p in the meter, Dave, it's a bit dark, yeah. Welcome along to tonight's live stream. Light is fading a wee bit here. I've got all the lights in the room on. And I might just have to adjust some software filters and turn the brightness up a wee bit. I don't want to do that too much because it can start to look pretty awful if you overdo it. If I turn the gamma settings up a little bit, you can see a bit more what's going on now. So how are you doing tonight? Just been having a hangout stream here and chatting a bit about the news that Peaches brought us this morning about the fish wagons and parcel wagons. It's something that I'm definitely going to be looking at adding a few of to Hollybush. Of course, the layout, not really based on the actual village of Hollybush, but a kind of conglomeration of lots of places in Ayrshire that I know very well growing up there. And Ayr itself used to be a very busy fishing port, Yeah, as you're saying, there's been quite a big heat wave in Germany, quite annoying to deal with. Yeah, it's looked pretty severe. I do not deal with heat well at all. I don't do heat. So I've been quite glad this week when it's cooled down. It's just been pouring with rain, so I've been stuck in the house. When your job is actually a busker in real life, you're pretty dependent on the weather. Oh no! David Newby, terrible day. Both my 50s have broken drive shafts. Oh, that's a scunner. Uh, oh, the drive shafts have been a bit of an issue in the 50s. I think, is it This Way Works have replacement ones that have a slightly different design from Hornby's that are supposed to stay in more. Do you think it's something that you're going to be able to tackle a Rapido of yourself, or is that them having to go back to Hornby? Either way, I hope you can get them running again. So most people with the class 50s, they seem to be really good runners. I had terrible luck with mine. Something had been badly wired and it kept shorting out. I had to send it back, and they didn't have a replacement by that point. They'd sold out of the ones that I have, so I just had to get them get it refunded, unfortunately. Stag Junction's fish wagons would have come through from the Brock and Peterhead. Aye, plenty of fish up that way. And of course the West Highland line, that the Mallaig extension, that was just built for fish. David Newby, I'm disabled, so I'll give them to my brother to fix. Well, hopefully he can get them running for you again. Class 50s are great looking loco. So hopefully you can get them back on your layout again soon. Yeah, we've just got a factory here in Hollybush. We don't have a docks scene. There would have been lots of coal traffic, but there would have been a lot of fish trade as well in here back in the day. Xerox saying one of the two drive shafts in my DBV 200 is just gone. Since it got used, I suspect that the proner just took it out, but I plan on getting a replacement for it. The drive shaft's going all over the place at the moment. That's a shame. Well, hopefully you can get it replaced. And David, you be saying I'd like them to do the green and cream mark ones. Green and cream, is that southern liveries? You have to pardon my ignorance on that one. Yeah, there's lots of livery options that they haven't done yet. I'm sure there'll be lots more to come in the next few years. West Highland steam train in the 80s, 80s, yeah, 80s, 90s. West Highland line is just incredible. Been up it a few times now, and it's just out of this world how beautiful that line is. Only been on it on class 158 sprinters though. Never on a steam train. Got some photos from a holiday up in my lake from when the Jacobite arrived into town. So I've not been on the line on a steam train, but I have seen a steam train on the line. You can tell I'm running the line as a heritage railway today. When else would you see a Class 37 and a Terrier running opposite each other? Close to giving up on TT though, as every Hornby local I've had has needed vettering or fixing just to run right. That's a shame. And certainly the earliest ones I've had to do quite a bit of fettling on myself, but I've I've not had such bad luck with more recent ones. I think they seem to be getting on top of the issues. And I've not had to do anything at all to the 37, the Terrier and the J50 beyond just kind of fairly basic maintenance. Touch wood, it stays like that. But then again, every scale of model railway you do seem to see some kind of issues. It's one of the things I've found quite reassuring about going out to exhibitions. You're seeing, you know, amazing layouts that have been built by people that have been running model railways for decades and absolutely know everything that they're doing, and still seeing that they can have technical problems and need to fix things and fettle things. It's kind of reassuring to know that it's, you know, it's not just me, it's not just TT, it's not just new trains. You know, miniature engineering on this kind of level, it's hard. These are really quite complicated machines. what time will be at? So it's coming up to 9:30. I'll go on for a little while longer. And I suppose I should say, if you're new to the channel, if you're not already subscribed, please do click the subscribe button. I do a live stream hangouts most Friday nights when I'm free. Wasn't able to do one the other week because I had a gig with the Cayley band on Friday night, but I think the next few Fridays I should be free live streaming from 8 o'clock, running some trains and chatting about whatever news there is in TT 120. And yeah, please do have a look at the videos that I've got up on the channel if you are new to the channel here. I posted a video a few days ago with some light engine running with a 37, a little music video with 37 with a song from my band Marshall Chipped. There's quite a few new exhibition tours, videos from the Summerlee Model Railway exhibition, from the Scottish Festival of Railway Modelling and the Glenrothes show, all in the last month. They're all on the channel there. And please do subscribe because there's going to be some more things like that coming up. Later this month, it's the Perth exhibition, and that is quite a big one. I've had a look at the layouts list of people that are going to be exhibiting at the Perth show this year, and it's huge. So that is going to be a big highlights show on the channel at the end of the month after that the Perth show. Xerox saying here in Germany it's getting close to 11:30. Yeah, that's getting late. Even though I'm not going to sleep yet, still want to clean the room up a bit and watch something else on YouTube. So cheers and good night. Cheers, Xerox. Thank you for joining. Thank you for chatting. Lovely to speak to you tonight, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care and I'll catch you again soon. before I sign off for the night, let's give the J50 another couple of runs. Another few laps of the track. And just see if that wheel cleaning earlier on tonight has sorted out that little bit of rough running that it was having earlier on. So that was just a quick clean with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol on the end of a cotton bud. Just quickly wiped over the wheels, and that has just lifted off the dirt that was causing the J50 a little bit of trouble, stopping the electrical conductivity through the wheels. And now it's running much happier. Well, I think I'm going to draw tonight's live stream to a close. Thank you for joining me. Cheers to everyone who has hung out in chat. It's been lovely talking to you all tonight. And yeah, it's been a good day for TT. It's great to have the news that Rapido is coming in as another TT manufacturer. Those parcel and fish vans are going to be a lovely addition to the scale. And yeah, hopefully they'll be successful, and we'll see what else they bring to the market. So in the words of Douglas Adams, so long and thanks for all the fish. Good night everyone.